From celebrities like Ruby Rose of Orange is the New Black to teen star Jaden Smith and Hollywood hunk Brad Pitt, celebrities are directly or indirectly drawing attention to a movement that blurs gender, in which a person can choose to be male or female or both any day or hour they want.
It's called Genderfluid or gender fluidity and is among the top conversations on Vine, certainly a lot of college campuses. Joining us is Vine star and author Jeffrey Marsh. Jeffrey does not identify as he or she, but prefers the pronouns they and them. He's written a new book. It is called How to Be You. Jeffrey, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Good morning.
Let me ask you this. Here's the thing. I'll just speak for myself. I think anybody should be free to do anything that they want and live as they wish. Do you want society, I don't know, to change the way we refer to people?
Of course I do,
okay.
Yes. And certain people that, like myself, don't prefer pronouns like he or she, but choose to use they or them. So you would say they wrote an amazing book. They are a great Vine star. They are attractive. And stuff like that.
And does it, and I mean this with all sensitivity, does it matter that much?
Well, I think it does, especially to young people, because they want to feel respected. They want to feel accepted. They want to feel like someone understands who they are.
Jeffrey, when did you decide to identify as gender fluid? And then how were you feeling at the time when you made that decision?
Well, it's interesting because it never was a decision for me. I get asked in interviews a lot, when did you know you were different? And I never felt different. I did have a moment of realizing that other people had a problem with who I am. But I always felt like we have the same desires. We all want to be accepted. We all want to be loved. We all have a lot in common.
Now, you said you grew up in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Traditional conservative, maybe in parts.
Yep.
Did you grow up in a home where you felt that you could express who you always felt you were, or how was that for you?
Absolutely not. And it's part of the reason I wrote the book. It's a love letter for people who are going through what I went through, which is growing up in a place and in a family that is not accepting and doesn't recognize who you are.
And then ultimately, and again, I hate to come from this traditional mindset, do you aspire to have a partner and have a family in some capacity?
I do have a partner and a family,
okay.
So there's no aspiration.
I
get it. And we've been together for 6 years. My partner happens to identify as a man, and I've been attracted to all kinds of people throughout the years. And
then do the two of you have plans at some point for children?
Well, did my mom tell you to ask that?
my mom used to ask me the exact same question.
You?
Yeah.
We don't right now, because both of us, I'm super, super dedicated to being an advocate for this particular community. And so children are not part of the picture, but we'll see.
All right, and here's another thing. When you bring up the phrase community, one thing that I think is widely misunderstood, is this a vast community, a small community? Is there, can we put a number on it?
Well, I'm not an expert actually in that particular field, but if the online presence that I see is any indication, especially this youngest generation, people who are teens right now, they're all over the map when it comes to identity. And they have a million labels to describe themselves. And to me, it's a beautiful thing. And
what are some of those labels? Because we hear them, and then sometimes there's confusion. People don't know what to say, right? They don't want to say the wrong thing. They don't.
Absolutely, yeah. Well,
So educate us on that.
Sure. The way that I would approach it is the way I would approach any group that you don't understand. Talk to them. Ask. Say something. You were pointing out that you're coming from this traditional mindset. I love that. I love that we're talking.
Dialogue's important, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But don't you think people are sometimes afraid to say the wrong thing? Because nowadays, especially, you do one misstep and you're attacked and ripped to shreds. And really, it's coming from a good place. You just want to understand, right? In some cases. Yeah. So some of the labels that people will encounter online in Twitter bios are gender fluid, gender queer. Sometimes people use just queer. Sometimes people use... Which most people go, wait a minute.
I'm not supposed to say that one, right?
Yeah.
But some people reinterpret that word, re-own that word that has been used against them.
Do you think that's a negative word, or what's your feeling about that word?
I kind of like that one.
Okay.
Actually, I don't mind it at all, because it does, I've always felt that way my whole life. And for someone to call me that used to make me feel horrible, which was the point. But now it's sort of a mark of pride.
And we're quickly running out of time. But for parents, maybe watching this morning, have a child in their home that they maybe don't know. What advice do you give to people?
In the book, there's a section for parents and for educators specifically. Listen, talk to them, treat them as you would treat a peer. Find out what they have to say.
Book is called How to Be You, Stop Trying to Be Someone Else and Start Living Your Life. Jeffrey making a one-day-only stop in Los Angeles for a book signing event tonight. It's at Book Soup just down the street here on Sunset. Starts at 7 p.m. Book Soup near Sunset and Larrabee in West Hollywood. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
you.
Nice talking.